I like it, mixing it up a little bit here this afternoon.
Tint of red as well in that hairdo. Davenport is fouled, and we'll head to the line for two as our officials tonight, Brian Brunette, Tiara Cruz, Maggie Tiemann, and Brian Neal in year 6.
Well, Brian Neal dealing with another youthful team this year. As we talked about in the Open, the only team in the conference, John, without a senior or a graduate student on the roster. Full of underclassmen, 10 on this Xavier team.
This is Erica Davenport coming off her 6th double-double of the season. That one against St. John's. And like you said, Matt, a narrow victory, just a 10-point win against the St. John's team that only has one conference win. St.
John's historically has played this Marquette team really well. They have a winning record against the Eagles under Joe Tardamella.
An Eagles swarming the Musketeers. Owens evens it. T. Owens evening things up, and Brian Neal is waiting for her to get to the great level he knows she can play at.
An incredible athlete, was a 3A state champion in the state of Texas in the long jump. Freaky athletic ability and solid on the defensive end, and now it's about becoming that elite finisher that he thinks she can be.
Stays with the Golden Eagles here underneath. Heidemann. Silky smooth, Natisha Heidemann. The Green Bay native has been on fire. Leading the Big East in scoring as a foul called. And Carolyn Keeger said that it's the attention to detail that has led the senior to really breaking out. She's defending at a higher level. She's not turning the ball over.
And I think really she has helped elevate the attention to detail of this entire senior class. Carolyn Keeger saying they are coming up with the answers to the questions that she would have asked and answered herself in years prior during the film sessions.
King off, but Davenport cleans it up and one.
Well, she is one of the toughest players in the country, let alone the conference, to contain, and she showed that with 4 straight double-doubles. And she usually scores quietly, John, because there's just so much flash on this team on the outside. Last week had 20 points against St. John's.
The offensive rebound and the 3 for Heidemann. Marquette has come out firing on all cylinders.
And Xavier has to stop the bleeding quickly because a 10-point deficit is bad against this team.
Make it a 10-point deficit. Wilborn off the steal. This is the 10th-ranked team in America flexing their muscles. Owens loses it. Here comes Marquette. 3-on-2. King, bang. What an opening statement by the 10th-ranked team in America. Marquette with 14 points in just over 3 minutes as we take a timeout on the Big East Digital Network. As we take a look at the Big East standings and these Marquette Golden Eagles at the top.
Well, if Butler can get a win tonight against DePaul, that Sunday matchup in Indianapolis between Marquette and the Bulldogs will be the one that everyone is watching. The top 2 teams in the conference squaring off for the first time.
Out of the teams in the middle of the conference, who intrigues you, Matt?
I think Seton Hall. I saw them against Marquette. Now, they lost by 25-plus points, but there's some talent there. And they're playing a new offensive style under Tony Bozzella this season. Seems to really be working well for his team.
Shadeen Samuels has taken a big leap. Right now, Xavier's looking to leap through this Marquette press. Marquette with 9 points off turnovers. And there's another TO.
And that is the 5th already, and we're not even 4 minutes in. And on the other side, Marquette is shooting 62% from the floor.
Heidemann 2 for 2 on threes. This is a business-like start from a Marquette team that is doing historic things. that this program has never known before. Ranked 10th in the AP, 9th in USA Today. With 5 on the timer, it will stay with the Golden Eagles with 4 now. There's Aaliyah Dunham. They go to Davenport. Erica Davenport keeps the Golden Eagles flying high.
What's so intriguing about this Golden Eagles team is that they continue to try and employ an underdog mentality. They lost to Grand Valley State, a Division II school, very good, but in the exhibition part of the season, and after that, Carolyn Keeger sort of grounded her group and said, it doesn't matter what our ranking is, we have to play with that gritty underdog mentality. Boy, have they ever to start conference play.
5 on the timer. Traveling called, and the Musketeers, the last thing Brian Neal wanted to do was give the ball away. He said, you cannot turn it over against Marquette. They've got 6 turnovers.
He needs somebody to step up and take the basketball and calmly break down this stingy perimeter defense.
Davenport already has 6 points. Erica Davenport is on fire.
And she's using her veteran basketball IQ to find the spots on the floor in the painted area, use her body effectively. So good in the low block.
Marquette has a Big East championship on their minds. Last year, they got to the title game and fell by a wide margin to DePaul, and Carolyn Keeger says that has motivated them. Heidemann. Erica Davenport. One more time for Davenport. How about a 4th attempt at it? And it produces a fresh 30. Lott. Yes, Selena Lott. My goodness.
The future is bright. And Selena Lott playing really valuable minutes right now with Alizea Blockton, who was hurt for 5 games, coming off the bench now as she's recovering from injury.
A dispute here between the officials. It'll stay with Xavier as Marquette is on a 19-0 run, and it doesn't get any easier for Xavier. Here is the all-time leading scorer at Marquette, Alizea Blockton, who enters tonight, folks, nearing the milestone. She's at 1,989 career points, just 11 off of 2,000. We are keeping that in mind. The pull-up. Yes, Xavier breaks up the 19-0 run.
This Marquette team reminds me a lot of last year's Louisville Cardinal women's basketball team, who made it all the way to the Final Four before losing to Notre Dame. They were known around the NCAA for going on massive runs, and that's what we've seen from this Marquette team this year.
Selena Lott fouled on a 3, which gives us some time to talk about Lott and what she's added here in place of Alizea Blockton in the starting lineup.
Averaging 10.5 points per game over the last 6 games. And really, you know, Coach Keeger said coming into the year, what they were looking for Lott was more responsibility on the offensive side. One of the best freshman defenders that she had ever seen last year. And was asking her to sort of step up and find her role offensively. She's done that in the absence of Alizea Blockton. And now the challenge is keep it going with Blockton back healthy.
Just a 66% free throw shooter. 2 of 3 this time. Yes, that score is correct. 23-4. Marquette ranked 10th in the country, flexing their muscles as we get a foul called on King.
Well, John, you talked about it earlier in the open, Carolyn Keeger, and how impressed she's been with this team's defensive progression. We're seeing it tonight. They can guard you in so many different ways, and now here's Lott.
Selena Lott with the left hand. 25-4 Golden Eagles. 13 of the 23 points, rather 25 points have come off turnovers. Here they come again. Swinging it inside, blocked in. Alizea Blockton gets on the board, and Brian Neal needs another timeout.
Alizea Blockton on the board for the first time in 6 games. Coming off a 13-minute no-point performance against St. John's, was getting her feet under her. I think that was an important basket for Alizea Blockton. Now single digits away from 2,000.
1,991 career points for Blockton.
Mathematician over here.
Well,
better than I could do.
I took one math class in college, but you know what? It doesn't take much more than just reading the fantastic notes that Marquette Athletics puts out. I'm not going to attribute my math skills to that. But what a career she's had, Matt. It's unbelievable.
Big East preseason player of the year again this year, although I think her teammate Natisha Heidemann has put together a nice campaign for herself.
The three for Dunham. And Xavier put a little run together to find some momentum out of this first quarter. Dunham's been the spark. 5 of the 7 points. Ariana Gray. Everything but the finish, and a whistle. Foul on Xavier. This one's on Johnson. Maddie Johnson going for the rebound. Brian Neal said to us, Matt, that with DePaul coming in on Sunday, that he was going to be concerned about his star players, and with the way Marquette has been winning, they have a high margin of victory coming into tonight, 23.9, which is 6th in the NCAA. He said, I've got to save my stars also for the rest of the weekend as Davenport finishes.
And that margin of victory has only increased when you look at conference-only statistics. Through the 7 games, their margin of victory is near 30. So, you know, it definitely poses a challenge to your coaching staff when you know you have another high-flying team coming in DePaul, because they put up numbers in bunches as well.
Blue Demons coming in on Sunday, as that goes for Maddie Johnson, the freshman from Irvine, California. Heidemann off. Owens pulling it out. Johnson, tough shot, and it goes for Maddie Johnson.
Well, you're going to need a little bit of luck against this Marquette team. But now a run starting to formulate here for Xavier.
Well,
boy.
Natisha Heidemann silenced that thought.
Steph Curry-esque. She practices those in the warm-ups and regularly drains from well beyond NBA range.
3 for 3 from beyond the arc. 9 points in 9 minutes for Natisha Heidemann. Marquette, just a wrecking ball. Has not lost in over a month. 7 straight wins. T. Owens, yes. Owens, the Texas native. Brian Neal says she brings that Texas toughness to practice. Spingola. And it goes back to the Musketeers. 11-second difference between shot and game clock here. Wilborn coming back on as you look at Lauren Waslian. The freshman has added a shooting spark this season. Golden Eagles jumping out to a big lead behind a 15-0 advantage in points off turnovers. On the timer. Owens traveled. And that is the 8th Xavier turnover of the quarter.
Growing pains for this Xavier team. We talked about it. 10 underclassmen, 3 upperclassmen. Only team in the league without a senior or a graduate student. They have neither.
5 seconds now. Wilborn off the window. That does it for a first quarter that featured the 10th ranked team in the country putting together an opening statement. Marquette up 21 after 1, getting out on the break and starting out their weekend road trip with an exclamation point. Welcome back to Big East Women's Hoops Friday on the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi. Along with Matt Schumacher, I'm John Fanta. How about these Golden Eagles?
17 points off turnovers. Had a 19-0 run at one point in the first quarter. A juggernaut at the top of the Big East.
It is really something what Natisha Heidemann has put together coming into tonight. 7 of her last 8 games, 20-plus points. And she has just surged this team along with Alizea Blockton out for 5 games with the ankle injury, but now Blockton's back, and they're at full strength, looking like a top 10 team in the country. So Xavier needing a response, but it's another turnover. King, a touchdown pass to Heidemann, but it fell off, and a foul. One on Blockton. Matt, how do you recover if you're Xavier?
Well, as cliche as it sounds, I think it's a one possession at a time type deal, but it really all starts with cleaning up the passing. There's been so much pressure on the perimeter play of Xavier that they've got them sort of out of sorts. They need to get back to the bread and butter, which is feeding Ariana Gray.
Gray coming into tonight averaging 17 and 15 in her last 5 games. The 3 is good from Aaliyah Dunham, who has sparked this Musketeer team.
Well, that's the other thing that Brian Neal talked to us about. It's been so much Ariana Gray and Natisha Owens. The defenses have started to key on those 2 players, looking for a third option. And I think they've found one in Dunham.
She leads the team with 8. Heidemann off, Davenport cleans up the mess.
Well, certainly it all starts with the stops on the defensive end, John. And Marquette just scores in so many different ways. It's sort of a pick-your-poison type of deal with this Golden Eagles team.
10 second chance points for Marquette. That 3 off, and Davenport with another rebound. She has been a machine thus far. 12 points and 6 boards, but that's a rare turnover by Marquette, just their 3rd. Carolyn Keeger, so much pride in her university. And she said that the team, after they got back from Australia, they went to an off-season trip to the land down under. They got back, and she said, do you want to be good, just an NCAA tournament team, or do you want to be great, a team that could be a Final Four dark horse? And she said her team received that so well. Ever since then, the culture's been at its best. A couple of tries added for the Musketeers, but Davenport eats it up. Offensive foul call, this time on Wilborn.
Well, you talk about culture, and Natisha Heidemann echoed that to me a couple of weeks ago. She said the biggest difference with them this season is their attitude and their demeanor. It never really changes. If there's a bad play, it's head-up mentality, next play mentality. They're really just having fun playing basketball, and how could you not? 7-0 in conference play, and well on their way to an 8-0 mark tonight.
Marquette jumped out to a huge lead, the largest at 23. Davenport already with her 8th rebound of the night. King, look what I found. She's headed to the line for a pair.
And she went 13 of 13 from the stripe against St. John's in a 20-plus point performance on Sunday. And, you know, so much is made of Natisha Heidemann, of course, but Danielle King, according to Carolyn Keeger, has really emerged as a go-to leader for this group, both vocally and then we've seen her ability to put up big points at 27 against the 6th-ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs.
This is a player, Danny King, who has not gotten the major Big East accolades or on all conference teams, but Keeger says she's the glue of this team and the way she initiates, and she knows where everybody is and is supposed to be on the floor.
The quarterback of this Marquette Golden Eagles team.
No doubt. How about this pressure? At the very least, it's made Xavier work. It's out to Wasselson. Gray. Davenport with smothering defense. King. Selena Lott. Long. Gets her own rebound, and doesn't that sum things up? Blocked in and out. Marquette up 17-8 on the glass tonight. Gray all the way. It goes for Ariana Gray. First points of the night.
Yeah, she needed that one. Had a couple of point-blank misses in the first quarter. Need to get her going for Xavier.
Blocked and was left unmanned. Everything there on the rim, but the Golden Eagles just keep rebounding the ball. Heidemann, Curry range.
Unlimited range. Unlimited range. I would not want to play Natisha Heidemann in horse. That might be an HORSE to 0 type of game.
She hit that one from Green Bay. 4 triples, 12 points. We've got a lot of three-point highlights to look at from the senior tonight. Hand check foul.
It's just really incredible how much she's elevated her game.
There's another good role player for the Golden Eagles, Lauren Van Clunen, the sophomore.
And Carolyn Keeger says she's a great teammate. Bleeds blue and gold. Wants so badly to be an impact player for this team, and she will be in the years to come.
A Mason native. We'll be talking about that more deeper into the show. Nice hesitation by T. Owens. Wasselson, her first 3 of the night, the sharpshooter.
One of the best freshman three-point shooters in the country. 12th in the country in three-point shots made by freshmen.
In the top 6 in the Big East in three-point percentage. Van Clunen can't answer. Xavier is still struggling to rebound the ball, and now Heidemann's fouled. But that's a big takeaway here. Marquette up 20-9 on the glass.
Well, and you look at it, John, Erica Davenport is one of the toughest forwards in the conference to handle, let alone if you're led down low by underclassmen like Xavier is.
Right.
It's just such a tough uphill battle against Davenport, who has played so many meaningful minutes in her career.
Marquette with 11 offensive rebounds. Xavier has just 9 as a team. Davenport, another offensive board, and a foul on Xavier. Fighting for the rebound was Maddie Johnson. That takes us to a timeout. Marquette up 41-21. And we've been talking about the depth of this team. There is a bright future. This program has an 8-member recruiting class coming in next season. But right now on the bench, you see Lauren Van Clunen. And she is a solid role player for this team that provides a perimeter presence. But when you think about what she did at Mason High School, such a great career there, it really says a lot about the future of this program. She's a big part of it. And we're not seeing her full product because of how good the seniors are around her.
It's similar to Selena Lott. You know, there's only so much you can do on a team with 5 1,000-point scorers.
She's got some friends and family from Mason out here tonight, nearby Mason, Ohio. Her family, though, her parents actually moved out to Milwaukee with her. to support her at Marquette, which is pretty cool as you take a look at what the Golden Eagles have. And those 5 players have 1,200 plus career points now. But think about this, folks, 1,000 plus career points. Marquette is just the 5th team in women's basketball history dating back to 1999 to have 5 1,000 plus career scores. The others, fairly recent, Notre Dame and Connecticut in 2017-18, 16-17 Louisville. You brought up the Cardinals and what they do in the scoring column. 16-17 Florida State. So the sport has certainly trended in the direction of scoring. But to see this Marquette program, along with the likes of UConn, Notre Dame, Louisville, Florida State, that just says wow.
It does, and even more wow is that Marquette is about to have a 2,000-point scorer in that group, and yet 4 others in the 1,200-point range. It's just amazing, and it's a credit to how well they share the basketball and share the spotlight. It's never a me situation with Marquette. It never has been, even when these young ladies were freshmen 3.5 years ago.
We were talking about that off air of how far this program has come. Carolyn Keeger's first season, the Golden Eagles, they were in the basement of the Big East. And now they're at the top of this league and one of the top programs in all of the country.
It's amazing, John. Carolyn Keeger and her staff were 23-37 in the first 2 years that they took over. And since then, they've won a regular season title, a tournament title. They've been to the NCAA tournament, and now they have the highest ranking of any Big East team since realignment in 2013. Incredible.
Total record of 66-22 in the ensuing 3 years. King. Another offensive rebound for Marquette. That's been the story. They've got 12 offensive boards. This time a foul called on King, which is number 2 on Danny King, bringing back Wilborn. This is Big East basketball, physicality. That time the call goes Xavier's way. Musketeers team nearly had Creighton last weekend in Omaha, but then Providence commanded them, and the Friars 4-4 in the Big East and making strides as it'll stay with Xavier.
Well, you look at the roster for the Xavier team. Of course, they have some players coming in, but most of them will return. In fact, all of them will return, and they'll get some players who have dealt with injuries as well back next season. But this whole starting 5 will be back next year, John, and so these are valuable minutes, and minutes that you sort of just have to gut out despite the score.
Right on cue, Lauren Van Clunen on the board. Owens was doubled and gave it away. Natisha Heidemann. Heidemann right down Broadway. The lead is its largest at 24. Heidemann, 14 points. Davenport with 12 and 11, her 7th double-double of the season. And this is just a case of the 10th-ranked team in America showing the nation why they are there, as it's an and-1 for Owens.
I like that. Owens said, give me the rock, let me back it down, get tough and gritty in the low paint. They need more of that tonight against Marquette, because Marquette will not take the gas, will not take the pedal off the gas.
T. Owens, her first trip to the free throw line. Off on it, but a whistle. Lane violation called on the Golden Eagles. This is a night, though, Matt, and you're a former runner at Butler. This is a night where Brian Neal's going to find out who can finish the marathon, because this is going to be gruesome. This is a tough night for Xavier, facing a Golden Eagles team that's so veteran heavy. This is where you find out who does have some toughness in them.
Right, who's got some grit and who can sort of put the score aside and take it one play at a time, which is really all you can ask for of yourself, no matter who you're playing, but especially against this Marquette team because it's game experience. Now, how do you grow from it?
A deflection. Marquette going on a 19-0 run to open the gates up. Since then, Xavier's hung in, but that 19-0 run cut the wind from the sails. Heidemann chasing down Gray. Blocked her, but a foul. A foul on the senior. Giving great effort on the chase down. Just her first foul. Here it is again.
One of the fastest players on the court, Natisha Heidemann. LeBron-esque, chasing it down behind the play.
Oh, you've gone Curry and LeBron.
Yes, why not? Combination of both.
Gray is a 71% free throw shooter. You're going to need her speed because you're racing out to New York City this weekend.
Indeed. Filling in for you, my friend, because you will be here against DePaul, who is now making it close against Butler.
This one of 5 games on the Fox Sports app. Glad that you're with us here in Cincinnati. Alizea blocked it. Offensive rebound. What else is new? The 14th for Marquette. Van Clunen, yes, from the corner.
Everybody getting involved in the scoring tonight. Fun for Van Clunen with friends and family on hand.
The Mason native putting on a show. 16 second chance points for the Golden Eagles, and they just keep on flying. They're heading to Butler on Sunday. Butler only gives up about 52, 53 points per game. Marquette's got 48 with $2 to go in the second.
What really impresses me about Marquette is the composure, the calm with which they play, even if it gets deep into the shot clock like we have here.
Lauren Van Clunen, long, another offensive rebound. This time, Wasselson able to get it back for the Musketeers. Wide open three for Princess Stewart. Stewart averaging 8 points per game as a sophomore. Offensive rebound at first by Van Clunen, but couldn't fully reel it in. And a push. After a scramble between Van Clunen and Deja Ross, the officials may have to look at this. Ross with a shove.
That's just frustration there, Ross, on the bigger Van Clunen. And they're going to go to the monitor here, John, and take a look at this. They got tangled up in what was a screen attempt by Lauren Van Clunen.
So this crew, a veteran one, will take a look. Brian Brunette leading the way with Tiara Cruz and Maggie Tiemann. Tiemann was busy last Friday. She had the triple overtime Butler-Providence game.
You were there for that.
Yes. Was wondering, just the 4th triple overtime game in Big East women's hoops history, as here it is after the board. We're watching for this screen. Here it comes, Matt.
It didn't even really look like much to me from that angle.
Yeah, no, not much there.
Van Clunen was looking behind her.
We'll get an explanation right now. Common offensive foul called on Deja Ross.
And I think that's the right call. Her and Van Clunen just got tangled up a little bit. Here it is one more time. Nothing really malicious about it.
Final minute to go in this first half. Megan Caffrey's coming up with Seton Hall head coach Tony Bozzella at the break. Scramble for it. It'll stay with the Golden Eagles. Chloe Murata checking in, the freshman, getting some run here from Carolyn Keeger. 10 on the timer.
Her brother will be in town tomorrow with the men's team, Cam Murata. One of the walk-ons for Steve Wojciechowski.
3 on the timer. Heidemann. Short. Rebound by Gray.
Little family affair for the Muratas.
That's right. Marquette men are ranked 12th in America. The women are 10th. Doesn't get much better than that for two programs collectively. Marquette and Xavier men will face off 2 Eastern time tomorrow on FS1. 7-second difference between shot and game. Corner 3 is long. Lot on the catch from Heidemann. A thing of beauty.
What touch around the rim for Selena Lott.
From half court, Marquette just on an absolute tear in a first half that featured the 10th ranked team in the country rolling out a barrage.
Scoring from everywhere and doing it in all positions on the floor. Heidemann stepping way out for the triple.
Getting set for the second half. Marquette will start with it. The 10th ranked team in America, up by 21. And these seniors have been all business thus far in Cincinnati, just like they've been for the last month.
Stay on her defense.
7 straight wins entering tonight. Natisha Heidemann just keeps the Golden Eagles flying. 16 points for the seniors.
Slippery moves into the lane. Double teamed at one point as she rolled off the elbow and still gets to the rack.
Man, I would not want to get assigned on her defensively.
I would not either, John.
Dunham answers. Aaliyah Dunham into double figures with 11. One tough assignment, and Brian Neal, the Xavier head coach, told us earlier today, there's just so many mismatches this Marquette team can create.
Well, I think we saw it too in the first half with Erica Davenport.
Lot is off, but there it is. That is the 16th offensive rebound for Marquette. Xavier with just 2. Davenport gets the friendly bounce.
Here's the thing with Erica Davenport. She's very powerful, yes, like a typical power forward, but she doesn't move like a power forward. She moves like a 2-3. She can spin. She can step out. She can hit a 3-point shot if you leave it open to her. Just so hard to guard her from baseline to the top of the arc.
Davenport gets the board. That's now her 15th of the night, 14 and 15. She's got 962 career boards, and health provided, she's going to get to 1,000 easily. Here come the Muskies.
Carolyn Keeger wanted a foul called on that one. I haven't seen a whole lot of fouls called tonight.
To your point, total of 16, but doesn't feel like that, Matt. T. Owens, guarded by King. Gray is long. Here comes Amani Wilborn, 2017 Big East Tournament Most Outstanding Player. Another offensive rebound, and Erica Davenport has Windex at an unlimited rate tonight. She's just wiping down the glass at the Cintas Center with 16 and 16. We have a Xavier timeout. We're going to stay right here with you on the Big East Digital Network. Marquette up by 24 early on in this third quarter. And it's great to be joined by the Xavier Director of Student Athlete Academic Support Services. Angela Wiss is with us tonight at the Cintas Center, and it's great to have someone who can give us the perspective of student athlete. The idea that all of these kids, Angela, they have to go to class all week long and deal with that tough schedule. How do you provide them the resources to handle all of that?
Well, I have a really great staff that helps us do that. We provide a lot of different types of support, whether it be study hall hours or individualized tutoring. We have learning specialists. We have a laptop checkout program. We have award nominations for them. We have individualized meetings with them, either on a weekly or a bi-weekly basis. So we see them a lot. They're like family to us, and we're really proud of all the work that they do here at Xavier.
How much do you see the student athlete go hand in hand in that what they do in the classroom can benefit them on the court?
Yeah, well, I think they learn a lot about how to be a good classmate, a teammate. A lot of their classes, they work in groups, and so they do a really great job of knowing how to work in groups. And I think they also have good communication skills, so they know how to properly speak to their professors and their peers in their classes because they're used to constantly communicating with teammates, with coaches, with our staff. So that absolutely translates into the classroom.
What is the Xavier Athletics way?
The Xavier way is family. It's togetherness. It's hard work. It's resiliency. And just loving each other. I mean, these ladies here tonight, they will not give up. They have grit, and they love each other.
And I think it's interesting that people from the outside might not realize it, Angela, that all these student athletes, it's not just one coach, and Brian Neal would echo this, the amount of people like yourself in the building that have to do with the ultimate success of a team.
Yes, absolutely. So we have strength and conditioning staff, we have a training room, and we have academic staff. I mean, it is truly a team effort, and it's a family.
How does all of what you do translate in terms of graduation rates here?
Well, our graduation rates are really, really high. They're top 30 in the entire country. We're about 96% graduation rates, and we're also at a 98% job placement rate. And so, I think when they utilize the resources that we provide, they have a good opportunity to be successful.
Okay, if I came to one of your study halls, could I bring Skyline Chili with me?
Absolutely. Are you kidding? Yeah, bring it. Just don't bring it into the computer lab and spill it all over our nice new computers.
Oh boy, I was already thinking of that. Knowing me, I would probably spill it, Angela. What's the favorite part of your job? What's your favorite part about it?
I just think seeing these young folks grow, develop, mature, learn life skills, be prepared for life after college. Seeing them grow from a freshman to a senior is just absolutely remarkable. It's an honor. My job is so much fun. I really, really enjoy it. I've been doing it 16 years, 5 years here at Xavier. And, these young people keep you on your toes, and they're just a lot of fun to be around. And it's an honor to be able to see them grow and work hard and meet their families and see all the work that they put in.
They just worked hard to produce a foul on Marquette. Hard work by the Musketeers to get a fresh possession. Angela Wiss, the Xavier Director of Student Athlete Academic Support Services. Thanks for joining us on the broadcast.
Thank you. It's my honor to be with you, John. Have a great night.
Great to be with you, Angela. And I am not heading into her computer lab with Skyline Chili. I can assure everybody that after our conversation. But you just heard about it. Top 30 in the country in graduation rate, which is really exceptional. And there's so much more than just what happens on the court for these student athletes. That three is short. Fresh possession for the Musketeers. It's Matt Schumacher back with us. Gray is off. 24-point game here in the third quarter. Let's look big picture. Marquette has Butler on Sunday. Dogs and Blue Demons of DePaul in a battle right now at Hinkle. For this Marquette team, Butler's up 36-31 in that one. This is the type of spot, Matt, where they're at Butler, then at DePaul. They could run the table in this conference if they win both those.
It's looking like a possibility that this team could end the year with no losses in Big East Conference play.
A player down right now. Luckily, she is on her feet. That's Lauren Wasselson, who has added a sharpshooting presence for this Xavier team. What do you think, Matt, of Sunday's game between Marquette and Butler?
Well, it's shaping up to be a good one. updated score. Butler now down 41-40 at the halftime break. But I think, regardless of that outcome tonight, if Butler wins or loses, we know it's going to be a good game because Butler gave this team a really good game last year. Came down to a buzzer beater that Alizea Blockton hit at the end of regulation.
Davenport up to 18 points, 16 rebounds. Just exceptional.
But John, you look at this team's ranking. They've challenged themselves over the course of the non-conference, playing a number of top 25 teams, including a 6th-ranked Mississippi State team and a top 5 Notre Dame team.
They challenge themselves, and we're seeing the results of that in situations like these, as it'll go back to the Golden Eagles.
Get it back, ladies. Turn around, be ready.
Marquette on a 6-0 run. Xavier 0 for their last 10.
You look at this team and, last season they really felt like they had a strong contender. They lost in the Big East Tournament Championship, came to DePaul in what was sort of a blowout loss. And I think that really left a sour taste in their mouth. We saw them rebound against DePaul in the regular season earlier in the year to get a blowout win.
Alizea Blockton gets it to go. Blockton up to 6 points, and the watch is on now, folks. She's at 1,995 career points.
Second round loss to Louisville last year in the NCAA tournament, and you talked about it. Do you want to be good and just get to the NCAA tournament, or do you want to be great and have a real shot at running to the Final Four?
Gray was double teamed. 5 on the shot clock. Aaliyah Dunham with 3. Dunham blocked by Heidemann. Here comes Blockton. 5 off of 2,000. This time the extra pass to Lott for the triple.
Unselfish.
That right there sums up the kind of leap Marquette has made in maturity.
And they have completely sucked the air out of the Cintas Center.
From the start, a 19-2 run. On the drive, it's Gross who is fouled. For Xavier, a team with so many underclassmen, this has been a tough night for a young group to see what the best of the best is, not only in their conference, but around the country. As we take a timeout, it's the Golden Eagles show in the Queen City tonight. Exceptional talent in South Orange, guiding Seton Hall to exceeded expectations. First free throw falling for Carrie Gross, the freshman from Clinton, Maryland. Gross hitting on both, and Brian Neal said that this tonight is about getting his freshmen some opportunities to get some minutes. Maddie Johnson checking back in. Marquette has been a well-oiled machine. 3 in double figures. King to Blockton. Blockton for 3, and now she's 2 away from history.
Great to see. Alizea Blockton missing 5 games with the ankle injury, came back against St. John's last week, was just kind of getting her footing under her. 13 points. I think she attempted 1 shot, no points, and now on high alert for 2,000.
Johnson, no. Blockton with the dish off. Danny King from Blockton for 3.
Zero rotation on that basketball. Just a beautiful shot.
King to Blockton. History for Alizea Blockton. For the first time in Marquette history, the Golden Eagles have a 2,000 career point score. The answer by Gray, but there it is. 2,000 career points for Alizea Blockton.
An incredible feat.
King again. Up to 10 points, Matt. And they're picking up steam as this game goes along.
And Alizea Blockton has not only matured as a player as her career has gone along, but I think the biggest thing that Carolyn Keeger is proud of is her mental progression, sort of getting tougher and understanding that even if a shot doesn't fall for her, she can affect the game in other ways, whether it be rebounding or dishing it out to teammates like we saw a three-point shot from Selena Lott on a fast break a couple of minutes ago. Fantastic all-around player and well-deserving to stand alone as the only 2,000-point scorer in Marquette basketball history.
Gray winning out the battle this time, and here come the Musketeers. Dunham, kick out. Back to Aaliyah Dunham. The back down. And Lott with the spin. Fancy move to a wide open Natisha Heidemann. Too easy.
Well, I don't think this Marquette team is going to have any problem getting the 85 tonight. Top 5 in the country in scoring. And even in a gritty game against St. John's last week, John, this team scored 83 points. They just find a way to get the basketball at the bottom of the cup.
With Gray down, Heidemann, no. But it goes back to Natisha. Danny King, short. Alizea Blockton. Another extra chance for Marquette. They're outscoring Xavier in second chance points, 22-2.
I think you're starting to see some fatigue set in for the Xavier team. They already don't have a very deep bench to begin with. And on top of that, it's been a track meet.
5 on the shot clock. Heidemann trapped. Alizea Blockton. And 1 for Blockton. 2003. If that doesn't put the cherry on top of a historic night, I don't know what would.
I think Alizea Blockton is back, partner.
Oh, you are right, and back with history. And now a chance for a 4-point play. Of course, it goes in. Alizea Blockton, the Milwaukee native. Oh.
And a beautiful feed. How about the pass to set it up? No look from Danielle King. She's been doing that all 4 years here at Marquette. That's the synergy that makes this team so special. And you talked about it, John. Danielle King just knows where everyone's going to be on the floor, and Alizea Blockton always seems to be right around the bucket when you need her to be. 2004 career points. And all smiles on the bench. She knows it. The coaching staff knows it. No doubt she'll be getting the game ball and all kinds of take-homes after tonight.
Well, 15 points in just 19 minutes. That's beyond efficient. 6 of 10 from the field. Incredible.
And Danny King wants to push the pace. And that's the thing about this Marquette team. It doesn't matter what the score is. They continue to go pedal to the metal.
That one goes for Davenport, who's been exceptional tonight. 18 points, 17 rebounds. 3 rebounds off her career high. Ten on the shot clock for Xavier. Rife. Short. Rebound by Chloe Murata. Danny King has ruled the Queen City tonight. Had to do that, Matt, as she this time gives it away.
A little too much sauce on that one, but Danny King I had a chance to talk with her after the win against St. John's, in which she put up 22 points, got to the line 7 times, was 13 of 13. And she said the thing that makes this team special is that they care for each other. They say it every night in the locker room before they come out for pregame warm-up. Look to your left, look to your right. These are your sisters, and they battle for each other as such.
Ostlison off. The Xavier team has shot just 3 for 21 in the second half. Danny King is heading to the line. This Marquette team welcomed in Notre Dame on December 22nd. They fell by 24 at home. But they did not mope, Matt. A week later, they started what has been a 7-game and after tonight, an 8-game winning streak.
Well, that game against Notre Dame, I think they were a bit disappointed. At one point, they were leading in the first quarter of that game, and they sort of let it get away from them. Some uncharacteristic turnovers, some sloppiness down the stretch, and I think they regrouped after that one as Davenport picks up another offensive board. They regrouped as a unit and said, okay, look, we understand that we have to play with intensity for all 40 minutes. We've seen that against the Big East opponents through 7 games and now number 8 against Xavier.
Marquette has out-rebounded Xavier 49-21. Chloe Murata. Another battle for it. This time the rebound for Dunham. He's got 11. Dunham, why not? It goes. 14 points after her 4th triple of the night.
She's played well tonight. She shot the 3 well. She's executed in the open floor.
Chloe Murata's got 2 free throws here.
Xavier foul number 25, Derby Rose. First personal, second team foul.
You brought it up earlier, Matt. Chloe, all in the family. Sister of Cam, plays on the men's team. Well, Isaiah Blockton gets a nice rest of the night off, it would appear. On the shot clock.
That
Dunham's off. And ball goes back to Xavier. Marquette, just complete dominance as Gomez checks in. Maddie Johnson as well. This Xavier team welcomes in DePaul on Sunday, 2 Eastern time, FS2. Monica McNutt and I will be back here for that. Marquette's heading to Butler. The Dogs and DePaul squaring off at Hinkle Fieldhouse right now. We'll go around the Big East a little bit later this quarter. Wilborn. Extra pass, and the finish from Van Clunen. That's teamwork to a T. Rife scoreless tonight. Xavier, the offense just hasn't been there. Wasselson with 3 on the timer and a block by Marquette. Here they come on the break. Lauren Van Clunen all the way. The Mason native up to 9 points tonight. I'll tell you what, Matt, you're speechless, and I can see why with this performance from the Golden Eagles. This is incredible.
They've put on an absolute clinic tonight.
The rebound by Murata. Lauren Van Clunen. They've moved the ball so well tonight. Look at this passing. And check foul on the baseline.
Typically, Carolyn Keeger likes her team to score within the first 10 seconds of the shot clock. But what we've seen tonight at different points in the half court is that they've been able to run effectively a half-court offense against the Xavier team that is really trying to pack the paint against them tonight. Really nothing has worked. It's a credit to the firepower that this Marquette team brings and the composure with which they play no matter what kind of defense they're going up against.
Morano with the offensive board, and a kick ball is called. It'll go back to Xavier after a timeout. The Golden Eagles have 5 in double figures tonight. It has been a Marquette showcase. The 10th ranked team in the country on their way to their 8th consecutive win.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge.
And they have really turned it on, showing that the Friars, they're playing a factor again in the Big East.
Yeah, that win over Butler in multiple overtimes was a massive hang-your-hat type of win for Jim Crowley in his 3rd season.
Another rebound by Murata. She's collected 7 just by herself. Marquette's up 55-22 on the glass. That's gaudy. They'll go back to Xavier. You see the blue blob on the right side of your screen, Matt?
I do. It's one of my favorite parts of the Xavier fan experience.
Yes, it's his birthday on Sunday.
Are you going to be celebrating?
Yes, they're
On
bringing
Fox
in
Sports
Papa
2?
John's Pizza.
Perfect.
They're bringing in pizza, and they've got kids coming, inflatables, all that stuff. I'm not trying inflatables. Last time I tried those.
I was with you, partner. We were in Mason, Ohio.
Yeah. I could have used the blue blob suit riding those inflatables.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Last time I tried them, let's just say the producers had to make the video safe for work.
The true gentleman
Corner
and
3.
sportsman that you are. Lost the bet, and you took it on the chin, and you were a man of your word.
Still feeling the burn. And a giveaway. Need a babysitter? Her name, Amani Wilborn.
She's really stepped it up in conference play. 13.5 points per game. Had really struggled going into the win against Georgetown, and Carolyn Keeger had conversations with her about confidence in affecting the game in different ways, especially with her defense. We just saw it there.
Dunham, the bright spot for Xavier. She leads them with 16 points tonight. Wilborn. It goes back to the Golden Eagles. Carolyn Keeger in year 5 at the helm at Marquette. An all-time great player for the Golden Eagles. Spent time on the Miami staff.
Still the all-time assist leader at Marquette.
She is. Could dish it off with the best of them. And she could still play. She's out there on the practice court. She can launch from the perimeter. So in touch with her roster. Has built the maturity up. Dunham, long.
I'm really interested to see what she can do with 8 newcomers next season. Of course, she brings back a nice core of players, including Selena Lott, Althea Anderson, Lauren Van Clunen. But it'll be similar to when she first got on campus in that newcomers will be expected to make an impact.
It's a great point. As turnover by the Golden Eagles, a rare one tonight. Marquette has just balled out in every sense tonight. Murata with her 8th rebound and a foul called on Xavier. So the Musketeers need they need short memory. They need to just wipe this out, Matt, because they've got DePaul coming in on Sunday.
Right, and DePaul, of course, similar to Marquette in that they come at you with a lot of firepower. They come at you with a lot of speed. In a sense, a bit of a down season for DePaul, at least to start, but don't let that fool you. Doug Bruno will have that team prepared and ready to rock and roll here at the Cintas Center on Sunday.
Xavier just 7 for 29 from 3.
And that was one of our keys. Could Xavier knock it down almost unconsciously from 3? Because that's one of the only ways that you can really attack this Marquette team and keep up with their pace of play offensively. And tonight they just were not falling for the Musketeers.
Spangola off. Marquette 7-0 in the Big East. Just exceptional again here tonight, showing why they are in fact one of the 10 best teams in the country. Number 9 in the coaches poll, number 10 in the AP top 25. DePaul has flirted in the rankings back and forth, but it's this Marquette team that has set the standard. Offensive foul, hard fall this time. Luckily, good to see that Ross is all right. Marquette at Butler on Sunday. That'll be on the Big East Digital Network. FS2 Sunday right here at Cintas when Xavier hosts DePaul. Clock winding down here in Cincinnati. The Marquette Golden Eagles have won 8 in a row to start Big East play. 17-3 overall as the Golden Eagles fly high, achieve history with Alizea Blockton reaching the 2,000-point milestone in her career. And it was all Marquette.